Well, good evening, Bear fans, and welcome to Inside Bear Athletics on Bear TV. This new program that will keep fans updated on their favorite Bear teams, as well as regional sports teams, and even give you an inside look at some of the things going on the Southwest campus. Well, additionally, we're also going to have some fun talking with coaches throughout the year, some administrators, and who knows, we may even get some community leaders on the program before we end the 2020 school season. So whether you're a student, an alum, a forever fan, tune in, my friends. It's time to bear down for Southwest Bear Athletics on Bear TV. Season of Inside Bear Athletics. Tonight we visit with the head coach of the Southwest football team, Coach Tim Stowers. Coach, welcome to the program.
It's great to be on Bear TV.
Well, Coach, you're in your third season as head coach of the Bears, and you're getting ready for a crazy upcoming season. Originally 9 games, then 8 games, now 6 games. What's it been like preparing for this season?
Well, actually, looking back on it, I've been here 3 years, but I only got to coach 1 spring practice. But this is actually the first time that we've had all the players on our team were the ones that we picked. So I feel pretty good about the direction of the team. But as far as the season goes, dealing with COVID-19, everything from taking temperatures, so there's a new policy every day from whatever office is from, and we want to comply and look out for the safety of the student athlete. It is a totally different world. Of my 37 years of coaching, I've never experienced anything like this.
I was going to say, with COVID craziness, probably doing things in your 37 years you've never done. I want to touch back on that. You talked about it a moment ago. 1 spring training in your 3 seasons. How's that affected not only how you coach, but the players that you coach?
Well, you really have spring practice for fundamentals, taking a snap, blocking, tackling, those type things. So when you don't have spring practice, and we didn't get to do anything in July this year, we got pushed back 3 times, you lose some of that fundamental stuff. So I think we're going to have to be simpler a little bit because we lost a lot of those reps in spring practice and in July. In fact, I think everybody's probably going to have to be simpler. If they're not, they probably won't be very good at anything.
Well, Coach, we talk about not getting the spring practice, the COVID season. One thing you have to depend on is a good coaching staff, and you've got a coaching staff coming back and joining you again this year. You got to feel good about the guys working under you.
Well, we really do. You know, Coach Warnabu and I have been together for a long time. We coach together at home, coach together here. I think together we probably have 75 years of college coaching experience, which is good, because that helps us know the ropes to skip and the ropes to know, because there's issues each and every day. And as Coach Barlow coaches our second, he's also the defense coordinator. He's on Auburn's all-decade team, plus he played for the Philadelphia Eagles. So especially in junior college, when you got players that played in the SEC, as Coach Steiger did, a defensive line coach at Mississippi State, also Coach Barlow did at Auburn. He's on Auburn's all-decade team. They tend to kind of look at you and feel like you know what you're talking about. So you get kind of an instant respect from the student athlete or the players on the team.
Well, Coach, let's get into the 2020 season. Let's first talk on the offensive side of the football. You got a couple of sophomores returning. I want you to kind of talk about just a minute. Campbell and McDonald, those 2 guys you're going to really depend on this year, aren't you?
You know, Campbell is probably the best guy in the weight room. He probably squats 600, probably bench way over 350 for a freshman. You think about he's going into sophomore year. Really did well. He was doing so well the other night in the scrimmage, I took him out and let the other B-backs get the reps most of the time. And McDonald is a guy that's played quarterback. He's played wide receiver. Kind of settled him at A-back, which is the toughest place to play. A-back slot receiver is the toughest place to play on our football team. But he may be the fastest or near the fastest player on our team. You know, I think he scored on reverse last year against Mississippi Gulf Coast and ran the kickoff, had the kickoff turned down inside the 10-yard line.
When you talk about the offensive side of the football, let's talk about the quarterback position. It's a position that last year you kind of struggled to find the right person for. What's the plans for the quarterback position this year?
Well, on offense, I guess that's a good word. If you had to think of one word, it was a struggle. We haven't been very good at much anything. Haven't been very good at running the fullback. We haven't been very good at throwing the football, except for a few occasional play action pass. We haven't had much consistency. But I feel it's starting to move in a positive direction. I think we've got two quarterbacks right now that are really conscientious. And I think one of them was an option quarterback in high school, and he's come and done a really good job so far and improves each and every day. That's Brandon Edmondson from Caledonia High School up a little bit north of Columbus. And he's going to be a really good football player for us.
Well, Coach, let's move over to the defensive side of the football. We talked about Coach Corey Barlow coming back in his second season. Got a couple of guys over there real quick. Cameron Myers, Kamari Clark. Two guys that made a pretty big impact last year on your football team, and you get them back this year.
You know, Kamari is from Adams County Christian. He's a really good player. He's Phi Theta Kappa. Towards a student athlete, because he is the epitome of being a student athlete. He's always where he's supposed to be, when he's supposed to be. I expect him to have a really good year and get some really good looks from a lot of Division I teams. You know, he's gotten some looks from Auburn. He's got some looks from South Alabama, which would be positive. The other one you asked about, Carl Myers, the other corner. He's from Piedmont, Alabama. That's over there north of Jacksonville, Alabama, northeast of Birmingham. He's a tall corner. Both of our corners have some height on them. You know, Kamari's probably 6'1.5" but Carl's a really true 6'2" kind of guy. What he really needs to do is learn how to really turn his body loose and accelerate to the ball, break on the ball. That's what we've been working with him on. Really, the secondary could be one of the strengths of our football team.
One of the words I heard Coach Barlow use, more aggressive on defense. He also talked about more experienced, more aggressive, going to come after the football more this year. Is that kind of what you're expecting?
Well, our defense is a little bit quicker than they were last year. I thought our defense kept us in a lot of games. Unfortunately, didn't win any, but I thought our defense there was a vast improvement on the defensive side of the ball. And that's because of Coach Barlow's history and putting good defenses on the field, and also being consistent, and the rest of the defensive staff. So we feel like we're headed in the right direction on defense, and just now we feel like we're headed in the right direction on the offensive side.
Well, the one side of the football we hadn't talked about can win or lose games. We've seen that at Southwest over the years. That's special teams. Kicking duties, you talked to earlier this year. You told me you had some kickers in. You had some more experience in that position. Let's talk special teams right quick. What do you have for us?
Well, we took a little bit of a chance, and I think it's going to work out. We've signed a out-of-state kicker, and we thought he was a kicker, but he can rugby punt, he can punt straight on, and he can kick. It's Josh Mazza from down in Louisiana. Very conscientious, wants to be a strength coach. And he has done fairly well so far. We also have Hayes Tisdale, local product from Park Lane, who kicked for us a few occasions last year. You know, he is also our backup kicker, and then we'll have a new snapper. That's what you always worry about. And how's the snapper going to do, especially since he's a freshman and he's never played in a collegiate football game.
Well, Coach, we talk a lot about the team. We're just a couple of weeks away, East Central. You'll make the road trip to Decatur. Real quick, let's kind of talk about the season ahead. You're only getting your South Division teams this year, but the South Division of Mississippi Community College football, probably the SEC of JUCO football, right?
Well, really the whole league, which we got a new league, MACCC. That's our new name. And but I really do think it's the SEC of junior college football. Look at all the national championships that's come out of here, and everybody comes here looking for defensive linemen and skilled players. And I mean, you got to be ready to play each and every week. It's a very tough and very competitive league.
Very competitive league, and you get Co-Lin and East Central for the first two, so those are to be two pretty good weeks of football.
It's not easy any week that you play.
Never easy. Well, Coach, I know we're all ready for football, aren't we?
We've been ready for football. We've had a couple false starts. You know, we thought we might have spring practice. We didn't get to do that. Everybody got sent home on an eternal spring break. Then we thought we were going to come back, July the 8th. Then we got pushed back. Then we're going to come back August 2nd. You know, then I think we came back on August 16th. But it looks like there's a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, and we're going to get to play some football games this fall.
Play some football games. You get the first one at John I. Hare Stadium, Monroe McKelvin Field. You got to like that.
Anytime you play at home now, we've got to learn how to play and win at home. You like not having to get on the bus, especially with all the COVID restrictions. You know, another thing that's interesting for us is our entire team hasn't been in the locker room yet together at one time, because our locker room has a capacity of 25 people. So I don't know how that'll work out when we get to a home game. But, you know, anytime you get a chance to play at home, you don't have to get on a bus and ride 50, 80, 100, 150 miles. You think it's good for the team.
Well, the one thing we've learned, Coach, we'll put the COVID restrictions, we'll do what we have to do. Let's just play some football, right?
Looks like we're going to get to play.
Let's play some football. It's October 1st. Good luck to the Bears this year, Coach.
Hey, we appreciate it.
That's Coach Tim Stowers joining us on Inside Bear Athletics right here on Bear TV.
It's time to get excited about Southwest Athletics. Football season is nearly here. The SMCC All-Sport Athletic Pass will give you admission to every home game of every sport for the whole academic year. Get your All-Sport Season Pass at www.southwestbearathletics.com.
Thank you for supporting Southwest Athletics.
Get your All-Sport Season Pass today.
Reach the summit.
Well, as we continue on Inside Bear Athletics on Bear TV, thought we would step away from athletics for a moment, visit with one of the newest members of the Southwest family. I want to make sure I get this title right. Blake Brewer, new Vice President for Student Affairs and Title IX Coordinator. That's a mouthful, Blake. But first, welcome back to Southwest.
Well, thank you, Benji. I'm glad to be here.
Well, as you come back to Southwest, I guess the first thing I have to ask you is, explain your title to me. Title IX Coordinator, Vice President of Student Affairs. What does that mean?
Well, it has a fancy definition, but the general purpose one is anything that anybody else doesn't want to do, they pretty much put it in that category. So, but no, some of the main responsibilities I have to do with housing, student housing. We have about 540 beds on campus, so that's a pretty big part of my job, as well as just student discipline and working with the police department in that area, and then, of course, planning activities for the students.
Well, before we start talking about some of those activities, let's first get to know Blake Brewer. Of course, I know you were a graduate of Southwest. Kind of tell us about your background, your family, things like that.
Sure. I was born and raised here in Pike County, Mississippi. I graduated from Parkland Academy. Then I continued my education here, and I received a degree here in the mid-'90s. And then I finished up at Southern Miss. I'm married. My wife is also from this community. In fact, she's a dentist here in Summit at Dr. Brewer Family Dentistry. I have 3 children that all attend school at Parkland Academy. So I'm very familiar with the area.
Well, absolutely. Of course, you get the job July 1st. And of all the times in the world to start a new job, you decided to start a new job in the middle of something called COVID-19. Of course, it may be better for you, though, because you don't know what it was like before COVID-19. So What has it been like making the transition from the high school level to the community college level, especially during COVID?
Well, in the beginning, the joke was, I had a lot of my friends and family, just people want to know, how's the new job? How's the new job? Well, when you're the vice president of student affairs, and there are no students on campus, it's a pretty sweet gig, I'll be honest with you. But anyway, it's been fine. The biggest thing is just staying up with what we're allowed to do based on CDC standards and those kind of things, and then making our plans according to that. So, making sure we're staying distanced, staying with our masks, and doing all the things we're supposed to do there. At the same time, welcoming students in and getting them into their dorms and those kind of things, and do so in a welcoming manner, which was the most challenging thing, to stay, 6 feet back, but yet still be open arms to those students as they come in.
Well, the students are back on campus. We're hopefully going to get some sports started pretty quick. Tell us about some of the activities on campus right now.
Well, that's actually some of the big activities that we've got going on right now. Is we're starting to look at homecoming. Of course, our football season has kind of been abbreviated a little bit, starting October 1st. But we are starting this week. We'll begin accepting nominations for homecoming. There'll be some things out on the web. There'll be some things, I think we're going to have a Facebook Live later this week that's going to kind of introduce some of those people that will be candidates for homecoming. We will do all of this, the voting and all that process that is normally done through personal face-to-face. We'll have to kind of go to an online mode, which we're prepared to do. And we're hoping to have all that wrapped up and have that court named in time for us to have a homecoming game or homecoming celebration toward the end of the season, possibly that November 12th date, so we can introduce that homecoming court to the students. So that whole voting and running is going on. Also, we have some Student Government Association stuff, who's who nominations and those kind of things. All of those things being advertised on our website and on signs around campus. And we will be opening those things up for voting online, and just trying to do the best we can. Like I said, we'd love to have gatherings and things of that nature, but we're kind of just watching it week to week to see what we can do.
So taking off that, no permanent date yet for homecoming, just kind of a general idea of when homecoming might be.
Correct. We've kind of got you learn in this this time of COVID-19, we have a plan A, a plan B, a plan C. So we've just kind of got some ideas out there. We want to go ahead and get the court shored up, and then we will go forth with getting a date to kind of present them to everyone.
Of course, as far as the students are concerned, they are back on campus, and you've got to really enjoy that. You talked about some of their activities coming up. Of course, people off campus can always stay in tune with what's going on with Southwest through the Facebook page, through the website, or they can, of course, under controlled circumstances, even come see you on campus, can't they?
Absolutely. The campus is open for business. We, just once again ask for some of the common sense rules of mask wearing, especially if you're inside. But yes, we'd love to have you and have you come through and visit with us and just ride through. We've got a lot of projects going on campus. Right now, we're currently in the processes of getting ready to pave the campus. We've got a company that's come in and they're working on the drives through campus. They're going through and shoring up some of the infrastructure underneath in a few places, and then they will come back through and we'll have a fully paved campus with new striping and everything else. So we certainly encourage anyone who drives through the campus now to bear with us. We've got a little construction going on, but we hope to wrap that up as soon as the weather kind of subsides and they're able to get back on it. And so we certainly want you to come through and see that. Obviously, we have new striping on the track. I don't know if that's been mentioned, but we have a lot of walkers and people in the community that come and take advantage of the track. That's been painted. It looks really well. Like I said, those kind of things we're still open for, and we would love to have you. We will certainly, as the student activities start and the athletic activities start, if you'll just pay close attention to whatever the government standards are at the time, we're going to encourage you back on campus, and of course set the capacities and the limits based on whatever that we're allowed by the governor.
Well, ready to get a school year started, aren't we?
Absolutely.
Well, Mr. Brewer, thanks for joining us. Welcome back to Southwest Mississippi Community College, and we look forward to catching up with you again later in the school year to see how things are going in that brand new job of yours.
I look forward to it, Victor. Thank you.
Well, that'll do it for Inside Bear Athletics here on Bear TV. Join us every Tuesday night, 6 p.m. right here on Bear TV as we have Southwest Bear Athletics for you each week.